Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This is the last part of Lord for Justice. So let's just get right into it because we're almost done. I want to see what happens. You want to see what happens? Let's go.
私と一緒にベッドしてみませんか？ちょっと待ってな。次は誰？当たりました。これなら幸運のウサギって言えますよね。
And have you call me X? Now getting back to what we were discussing, I'm sure you're used to situations like this by now. Choose in the name of justice, deliver your judgment to the one before you, whom you deem unrighteous. I refuse. Oh, and why is that? This time will be different. I won't get involved in this ridiculous political game. A political game, huh? I suppose that's not entirely incorrect. Very well then. Allow me to help you come to a decision. As soon as X is finished speaking, Seven pulls out a handgun from his coat and aims it at K. Small word of caution. Don't think for a second that I'm bluffing. It's a master's duty to be willing to put down a mad dog who could go wild at any moment. You son of a... Kay stares emotionlessly at the gun pointed at her. Now it's time to make a decision. So what's it going to be? Which one of the unjust will you judge? Rescue K. For the sake of righteous judgment, Seven lowers his weapon and without a moment's hesitation, turns it on himself and pulls the trigger. Damn! This is insane. It is indeed insane. A splendid choice, Mai. Or perhaps I should call you Seven. Wait, what? A job opening just came up. In light of the judgment you've made up until now, we have decided to offer you Seven's position. There's something strange in X's voice, which makes me feel uneasy, although I can't quite figure out why. You're standing at another fork in the road. Accept or decline, a binary decision. But is it really? People often delude themselves into thinking that they've made a choice. In most situations, however, everything is already predetermined, including the options available to them. People simply trick themselves into believing there's an alternative. All decisions by the judges are made by vote. Don't get the wrong idea. It's true that we manipulated you, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a loss for you. Some food for thought, don't you think? I've recently come to know one of the judges better. I understand how confusing, even frustrating, this might be. Nevertheless, set aside your youthful bluster for the moment. Suppress your emotions and think rationally about which path benefits you the most. That is the only way you can achieve your goal, I promise you. Can I ask you something? By all means. The decision to have me join the judges, was it unanimous? I'm fairly certain I know at least one member who would be opposed to it. Aren't all decisions made by the judges supposed to be unanimous? Alex remained silent for so long that I began to think he has hung up, but then he let out a deep sigh. I knew it. I was too impatient. I feared that slight nudging and persuasion would be insufficient. At some point, X's voice has changed, and now resembles that of the friendly elderly man next door. Allow me to make a correction first and foremost. Unanimity isn't always mandatory for us to make decisions. Sometimes, majority votes are sufficient. A single person can even push a resolution through, albeit at a great political risk. And to that end, I must admit, this was a decision that I made on my own. Oh, all on your own? Why do you want the commander so bad, though? But as you can see, it failed miserably, so I will have to lay low for a while. I know what you're thinking. Why is he confessing all this to me? The moment doubt rears its ugly head, it's already over. And it's simply a matter of time until the truth is discovered. Like with Kay. What do you possibly have to gain by roping me in with the judges? A formidable successor whom I can entrust the future to. Wait, what? Have you not been listening to me? I don't have much time left, but the Ark is still in dire need of justice. I must impart my knowledge to a successor while I still can. However, in my attempt to do so, I've been dealt a fatal blow. What a disaster. You say that, but you seem quite happy. Of course I am. My successor has grown up splendidly without having me to teach him anything. On the subject, you should consider having a child at some point. After retirement, doting on grandchildren is all we old folks have left. Not him just saying, oh, Commander, go have some babies, pick one, go, have fun. There I go again, saying too much. These kinds of things happen when you get old. I hope you understand. We admire young folk and feel proud of them. But we also envy them. So don't test my patience too much, Mai. I can't keep this position empty forever. Oh, and one more thing. I have a gift for you. Think of it as a tribute to the victor. What is it? I leave Kay's fate in your hands. Kill her, erase her memory, make her a slave, ignore her. The choice is entirely up to you. No, well, thank you. The call ends. I gazed at Kay, who was looking at me with sunken eyes.
たか？これが俺だ。
Erase my memory. What? Or kill me. Most of that stuff, Kay said, most of that stuff X said was complete nonsense. But there was an element of truth to some of it. Asking me to erase your memory is the same as asking me to kill you. I can't make that kind of decision. That's not who I am. It's the same choice regardless. I refuse to choose. I refuse to choose. Kay, you're not a puppet. You saw those records. I'm a bad person by anyone's measurement. All of those deranged orders from Seven. I assessed over how to carry them out more efficiently. I claimed to be making my own judgments, completely unaware that the outcome was already decided. And you carried them out flawlessly. Despite all of that, you never gave up on life. What? Erasing your memory may be close to dying, but it's not exactly the same. Why is it that you chose to have your memories erased instead of being killed? You want to know my theory? I think you wanted to fix things somehow. You were in too much pain and couldn't bear it, so you erased your memories. But even then, you couldn't run. You still wanted to restore justice with your own hands. In life, we're faced with many imbalances. We pile on additional weight and remove others, attempting to balance the scales. But there is no such thing as perfect equilibrium. Rather than trying too hard to make everything balanced, in times like that, I tilt my head and then everything looks in order. It's a way to get by and keep living. I'm going. I'll see you later. Tilt your head and compromise. Oh. The thorns on Kay's gun sparks ominously. There's no lasting damage, just pure pain. Perfect for extracting the truth. The methods we use must be clean. Here you go again, you're going to be up all night. Remember, clean methods make for a clean resolution. Alright, stop going on about clean this and clean that. I'll do things my own way. Even if the means were immoral. Even if you do not act righteously, you still wanted to restore justice. There's more to it than that. I'm a villain, a bloodthirsty, vicious villain. What right do I have to talk about justice? You're on the right path as we speak. What? Moran is just a person. Is she a perfect person? No, she's not without her flaws. But if you were to place her on the scales, you would certainly tip towards the side that's just. Even if others call her a criminal, and despite what occurred in Fog Hollow, she is still a righteous person. That's because she keeps striving to uphold what she feels is right. Up until now, you've left all the decision making up to me. Now it's time for you to decide, Kay. So what's it going to be? What's your decision? My decision is... Kay grits her teeth and slowly turns her head. I really can't stand this. Twisting and smashing words together and to try and force meanings, even when it makes no sense. Talking like you know everything, when you don't have a clue. I try to kill myself for goodness sake. I'm too far gone. This is why I don't like humans. You don't like humans? No. At least not before. I see. Doesn't seem like much has changed. You're right. Nothing has changed, and that's a bad thing. So, it's time we change that, starting now. I'll help. You? How? No, I have to think about it. Okay, looking more at ease, picks the gun up from the floor. Okay, show me then. Let me see it for myself. Show me what righteous is to you. And the road for justice I'm meant to follow. Road for justice.
So you couldn't bear the weight of the crown. I knew from the beginning that it would be too much for you.
If you'd known that from the start, you should have told me. Besides, I haven't removed it. I've only let someone borrow it for a while. Someone willing to carry it in my stead.
I've got a pretty good idea who it is. But still, that's very much your way of doing things.
Right, instead of balancing the scales. I tilt my head. You got a problem with that?
Not really. Not right now. What matters is whether there is conviction behind your actions.
Please, like you're so perfect. So, what happened to your mission? Weren't you investigating that cult? I'm something of a free agent now. So I decided to come and help out. A free agent? Yeah, I'll give this whole vigilante thing a try. He said that he'd bear all responsibility and that I could do whatever I wanted. He said he trusts me. My sure is a funny guy. Dee does not answer and taps at her phone. In Kay's pocket, her phone vibrates with a notification. Investigation data. Committed to memory. I guess it hasn't properly started yet. We need to be especially cautious with this mission. Right. They did say they would leave my fate to Mai. But I'm still not convinced that they'll let me walk away. from this. You can still opt out of this if you want. What's gotten into you? Let's go already. We have to make a righteous judgment. What are you looking at? Arcana was telling me all this stuff about self-suggestion. And it's supposed to be effective, so I'm giving it a try. You've changed. Yeah? I said nothing changed. Well, I guess I did. Humans change. The same goes for NIKKEs, who used to be human. I used to hate that. But I decided not to let it get to me. Not anymore. Dee turns around and walks away with a word. Kay follows. I guess I meant to say without a word. She didn't say anything. So, where do we start?
We need to find someone.
What's the name?
Depada.
An old man reclines in a luxurious armchair, sipping from a glass. Speak. A male voice floats from the antique headset the old man holds. Already finished. Then what's the agenda for next Monday? Take it easy. Everyone stumbles in the beginning. So you understand everything that's happened thus far? Are you referring to what 7 was handling? You're mistaken. That's been out of our hands for some time. It's already out of our control. I admire your passion, that you want to succeed again. But remember, they are simply tools. It does not matter whether they succeed or fail. They simply need to exist. That's all. If you understand that, then you can get to work. There have been some complications, so you'll need to work that much harder. It's been a long time since I heard someone recite slogans by rote. Certainly not since 7 or automated voice systems. Such a rare trait to find a young person these days. Kay pauses as he reaches again for his glass. The more I think about it, the more I like it. For the sake of a righteous judgment. Lord for Justice, end. Well, at least this time it wasn't really, like, cliffhangers and whatnot like it has been for the past events. So, I'm looking forward to what we see next time. But until then,
Bye.